up, guys? It's Liam. I'm sitting here with Mike.
Yep.
Also known as Mikey.
Yep.
What do you prefer to go by nowadays?
You know, Mikey, Mike, Michael. Just don't call me anything other than those things. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm like, yeah, you know, guitar is pretty epic, you know, right? Look, and you know, yeah, see what he just did? And that's a sick guitar. What is that guitar, Mike? Tell them what that is.
This is
before everyone comments.
This is the Mike Caster.
So
Mike Bird or Mike Caster. But you know, Spread Eagle. It's just like it's a custom made little thing.
It's made. Can I butt in? Yeah. I heard it's made from the souls of lesser guitarists than Mike.
Well, yeah, it's there's a couple souls of lesser guitarists, but it's more so crafted from the souls of lesser guitars. Soul cleansing guitar for other crappy guitars.
Nice, man. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that with the audience.
But what it actually is just a Firebird body with a Telecaster neck, I think, that happens to clean souls.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks again, Mike. I'm glad, and thank you for throwing that part in there.
Yeah.
This isn't.
Well, what's that one?
This is. This is a Les Paul that I have strap locks on, and I don't want to have straps on right now. Do you like playing with straps sitting down? I hate it.
No,
it bugs me.
But the thing is, I don't like playing it like this either, because
that's what I mean. Like when it's around me, it's not a big deal. But you know, since we gig a lot, it's just the straps stay on. You gotta have strap locks when you're gigging,
and it's annoying.
This is a '60s reissue, and I got it from the Gibson Garage in Nashville,
Tennessee, right?
Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay,
yeah. I couldn't remember if it was Tennessee or if it was Florida. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's Tennessee. But got it from the Gibson Garage, and you know, I've been a Les Paul player for years, but I really wanted a Gibson, and what better place to get than the Gibson Garage? And I had a very time picking one out, because I don't know if anyone's ever been to the Gibson Garage, but it's a lot of Les Pauls are there.
They have a 24/7 rotation of Les Pauls.
Yeah,
going through. I'm not even making this up.
Not even just Les Pauls though. Like that's the thing is like
all
Gibson. Gee, knees. They had some guitar bodies. Like they had it down to a science. They had Firebird, 335s, which I really like. SG. Explorer and Flying V. Flying V started there. It's been often duplicated, but Anyway, I really like the Iced Tea bursts because the Cherry Sunbursts. If I had the Epiphone down here, I'd show you. But the Cherry Sunbursts are very bright. Some of them are like real bright. Also, there's a lot of Cherry Sunburst players out there, and I love the bursts. But the Iced Tea is a little more subtle, and depending on the light, it kind of looks like a tobacco burst sometimes.
Yeah, it's darker for sure.
But depending on how much light you have, you can see like the genuine iced tea color of it.
It's still red, but it's got brown in there.
Yeah,
and that's the iced tea aspect of it.
Yeah. Have you ever drank iced tea?
I've drank iced tea.
It's pretty good, but
I would say that this part right here, the part where it goes from the brown to like the gold, right in that little middle part, looks the most like iced tea.
Yeah, that's a good aside. But then I put the Kruiser tuners in there instead of the Grover because they didn't have a 50s reissue of this. And the 60s reissue, actually, the necks are a little bit thinner, which I do like the thick necks, but it's kind of nice. Yeah. So I had the different tuners put in. So it's a 60s, not a 50s. I know 50s are like the popular Les Pauls, but they made some good ones in the 60s too.
And we don't care what other people think. We do what we want to do.
Yeah, and it sounds freaking great, man. I mean, neck pickup. Obviously, you get the woman tone. A lot of people talk about, I don't like X guitar playing. I like people who play with feel.
Yeah. It would be hard to play if you couldn't feel.
Yeah.
It would be very hard to play.
Yeah, exactly. What does it mean to play with feel? So I was thinking maybe we could. Yeah, it is a hard question, but it had me thinking. So maybe we could talk about it. Maybe play a few examples. And I think it's good for really guitarists of any level to think about it. To me, it means playing for the song, basically.
Yeah.
You play with more feel now than when you were younger.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely, because I don't try to just fill sonic space just to fill it. Like, all that stuff breathe more, and I'll try to come up with parts that, like you said, add more to the song rather than just being like, this is cool, I want to add it here, this is cool, I want to add it here.
Right.
Sometimes you don't need to add anything there.
Yeah.
And it just sounds better not to, so.
It's okay to try adding stuff and leaving it out the finished product.
Exactly.
It's hard to sometimes put your ego out of the way.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, this doesn't work. But that's a good point, actually, because I didn't even think that, Rhythm guitar, I think we always think, oh, play with feel. We always think of guys, like going stuff like that. But you can have the first riff that comes to mind is like, oh man, this is a rhythm guitar part with feel is the.
Oh yeah.
You could, that's just the first one that came to mind, but the way you voice chords, like instead of going I really messed that up, but like throwing in little things to your rhythm playing can really add a lot of spice and adds feel.
I thought that was the version of it that didn't have feel.
That was, yeah. It's the same exact chord progression, but it's just, in that song, and I think the reason why I picked that song is because that song, everybody in the band, they're a three-piece band with a singer, right? And the guitar is sitting in one spot, and the bass is sitting somewhere else. And
they just make it work.
Yeah, your feel can change over time too, per se. If the music is like an emotional thing, maybe you play with a certain feel. You don't maybe play with that feel anymore because maybe your head's at a different spot.
Yeah,
and that definitely would fall into the category. People evolve, so their feel evolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely blues music where that kind of thing came from. I think a lot of guitar players, especially in the rock genre, which I think most guitar players are somewhat based off out of that.
Yeah.
At least people that be coming across this channel.
Yeah. And most modern music, really.
And most modern music.
Popular music.
I don't know anyone who really starts playing guitar unless you're maybe from a more singer-songwriter background who isn't learning the classic riffs to learn, whether it's a Nirvana song or an AC/DC song or even Smoke Out the Water, Crazy Train, and Iron Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot with some of the biggest guitar music, aside from just pop music having guitar in it, but the biggest guitar music is probably metal, and all that stuff is based on rock and blues and stuff. So,
well, and that's that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Is I think a lot of older people or people who are a little more set in their ways stylistically feel that people not playing blues-based lead playing means they have no feel.
Yeah, which is silly.
Yeah, so I guess it comes down to, does feel mean you're playing only X amount of notes and you can't play anything quick?
No, not to me.
Not to me. That's what I kind of started thinking about. some great solos out there with people who are take a less is more approach. You know, obviously David Gilmour comes to mind, you know, Santana, Brian May, whoever. But there's like a lot of great metal solos, or like by, you know, quote unquote shredders. And let's face it, a lot of these people, they don't make as accessible as music as, like, say, David Gilmour does. But, like, you know, you think of like this metal solo, like this has, like, I'll just play the first bit. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but the like, that's a killer feel. And obviously, you know, he later on he'll go like, I butchered that, but you know what I mean, like that sort of a thing, where it's like, but he's following the progression. Where he's doing that. It provides feel, like there's your ears are like getting satisfied by following the chord changes, you know? And you know, another good one, like, you know, Steve Vai, For the Love of God, which is completely instrumental, but like that's got a ton of feel. So I don't know. It's just a weird subjective thing, I guess.
Yeah, it is definitely very subjective.
I mean, is there really any famous guitar players who don't play with feel? Not really.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
it's kind of yeah, it's a necessity. I'd say.
Yeah, you know, you kind of, if you're making music that people are listening to, you probably play with feel. Like, you kind of have to make anything even halfway good. You have to be feeling it. You have to be into it. You know, maybe somebody likes really shreddy, fast guitar. Maybe someone doesn't like that, and they make, you know, bluesy music. Maybe someone doesn't like either of that, and they don't do anything. They only play rhythm. They still have feel. So
does it have to be like pretty for it to have feel?
Nah, definitely not. I mean, if you're playing like a really, like, here, play something real, like a real aggressive sounding riff, and I'll show you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll play what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking about that, because the staying so at the end of that is like the most hectic, disgusting sounding thing of all time. That's still a feeling.
Yeah, it's a feeling of aggression. That's a good point, though, because we all think feel is like, I think people think of feel on guitar as like something that makes you go like, oh my god, like the classic, like the kind of thing. But yeah, no, you can get equal feel, but like if you're like playing like there's like a ton of like you know, metal stuff where that's the attitude, that's the feel, is like aggression. And you know, you wouldn't want someone just like going like playing like just going like, sure, it works.
That still sounds cool.
Yeah, it still sounds good, but you're not gonna get the same feeling as.
That's not aggressive. If that's what you're going for, like,
Yeah, I think it comes down to it. Like, every musician has their own personality, and I think, you know, just it's a good resource to talk about this. You know, because I think a lot of, especially people starting out, maybe, or people a little less experienced. Not that we're anyone, but you know, we've played for a long time, you know, to not worry about what other people think about, you know, your playing or other people's playing you might like. Just listen to what you enjoy and just go full steam ahead. Don't worry about what other people think. You know, on the way, sure, you can pick up some different stuff from different players.
You'll know who to listen to also.
You'll know who to listen to when you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to experiment and try listening to new stuff. It really does make your writing a lot more interesting by doing that, and your playing as well. So.
No, but yeah, I feel it's just about attitude, and it is song by song too. Like we're saying, like you could have a real dirty thing, and like that is the feeling for that song, or you can have a real soulful licks, and that's what you're going for in that song. The biggest thing with feel is that it can't sound forced. Is like that's a huge.
That's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, that's something. Something doesn't have feel is probably like if someone's trying really really hard to do something and you're just not buying it from them.
Exactly.
Like, let's say Mikey was a songwriter and I'm a session guitar player. Mikey has like a real something real mellow like that, and I was just like, yeah, right. Like that's what I'm just like, and that was I missed a lot of notes there. Like I said, we came in pretty unprepared, but if let's say Mike play that same progression, I'll try and do something that was like really forced, and that was all completely improvised. Like I was kind of like muscle memorizing that what I was playing there, right? But it turned out nice, and I was like kind of like hearing vocalized parts, but like. And so that was, and what I was doing there is I didn't really catch any. Yeah, and sure, maybe you think someone might think that was better, and I'm not even going to say I disagree or not, but I was kind of, for lack of a better word, shredding and just kind of thinking, okay, here I know this is Mikey's in this key. Here's the shapes for this key. There wasn't a lot of melody. You don't need melody in every song, but that song, let's say it has like a female vocalist or something, and real nice mellow, keyboards, just that clean rhythm guitar. It'd be nice to hear something where it's like. Let's say that was the end of the lead part, right? You hear how I was building up to that. So yeah, if Mikey hired me as a session guy and I was just sort of riffing over his song, and that wasn't even like the worst of it. If I was like coming in like. He would be like, "Yo, what the fuck, man? Like, why am I paying you to do this? It's just an ego thing. It'd be like, that's not cool." So, yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say about playing with feel. It was nice we could throw in an example there. And,
that was a really fun example too.
Yeah.
I would say it could border on addicting.
Yeah.
As an addicting example.
Yeah. Man, you feel addicted to that now?
I think I might do that chord progression all night long, and just think of different things, different licks that would have a lot of feel to go over top of it, and just workshop them in my mind for a while.
Jeez, I knew we shouldn't have shot this video.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real problem for me for some time.
Oh.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.